What's going on, guys? It's Expo Jesse. Just watching these futures breakout right now. Don't believe there's an opening range yet. Yeah, this would be our opening range. My mouse is lagging real bad. Give me 1 sec to try to figure it out. Okay, maybe. There we go. Hardware acceleration. My mouse was like jumping once every 2 seconds or something. All right, I guess I need to not put it on my top screen. Okay, should be working now. Okay. Can everyone see correctly? Should be working now. I have less mouse lag. Okay. Looking dumpy on the bottom side here. Okay. Whole market kind of giving out to the downside right now. What did I say? XLF triggered already. So we're looking for top market caps inside of this ETF. So that would be, where's my, some of these might not be optionable. BRKB slash B dot B. No. Slash B. So if I go next week calls, oh, these are optionable. Yeah, not the best spread I've ever seen, but 2-2 rev week. Let me see what this week looks like. Yeah, better. $5.30 calls on Berkshire Hathaway. for this week. It is intended to be a swing trade, but oh shoot, what was my average? 1.23. Bank of America just triggered to the upside. This one I'm going to take probably April's. Just because we are very red on the month. Were we red on Berkshire? No. So we are very red on the month. And this has a lot of retrace to go if it does want to flip. Yeah, stop loss would be like the 39 range. So it looked kind of like this. Entry long. Stop loss. TP right here. I know what I'm working with there. Okay. Back. I'd like to find some more of these that are like, a little bit green on the week month. What's going on? Like Progressive. Not really optionable. Yeah, sucks. Looks like a good chart though. Berkshire is at all-time highs, so these will trim out. Bank of America. I know I love Bank of America because it's so cheap to get good strikes. Like I'm aiming for the 47, so I'd like to get like the like the 45s for next month are 27 cents. I'm not gonna get that low, but probably get like the 44s. The 42s are only $1 right now. Check back in on the futures here. Nothing. Ain't nothing. They're both stuck in the pre-market range here. So I added this Lux Algo sessions to look at the pre-market and then look at where we're at in correlation to that. So ES and Q obviously above. So I know that if we get back into this range here, then I'm looking for it to go like so. Turn off my magnet here. All the way down to this low of the pre-market. So I'm just watching right now. It's a Monday. All right. I did get Bank of America 44 calls, 0.46, 46 cents for April. I might trim in this area, the 40, just under 43, maybe would be the first trim, but ultimately targeting that 47 range. Berkshire's stop loss is going to be today's low. Okay, starting to get worked into this range here. Oh, wait. Did I say 46 call on my entry? I did. Okay. Let me resend here. Yeah, thanks, Easy. Yeah, 44 calls on Bank of America. 44 and my entry price at 46 are real close to each other. Excuse me. Hey, Mac Melly, thanks for the sub on YouTube. Welcome in. All right, I'm about ready to short this ES. Risk would be 10.15, and looking to target pre-market lows.
I was looking for those big size orders, upside, downside, not seeing much just yet. Market's in a bit of a 5-minute range right now.
What are you seeing? You said you're still short, Coach Jay, or what are you seeing?
I'm short 743 half. I did get back in 743 half. I'm back in with 3. I just wanted to see that momentum continue to the downside. Us not holding.
Yeah, so 10-year yield has been going down since.
Just watching, nothing to do yet. Check in on the other sectors here. See if any of these have triggered yet. XLE 212 or 312 up. Looking for that outside bar month, I believe, is what I'm targeting. What was this? Oh, it's looking for an outside week already. Gee whiz. So then let me go in here. XLE. ExxonMobil, already an outside month. Looking for maybe something that's lagging just a little bit. KMI, I looked at last night, I'm pretty sure. CVX. COP. How is there no volume on this thing? This used to be super optionable. There is no volume on that. Okay, what else did I look at? KMI. KMI looks pretty decent, actually. 41 volume on the 28 calls for April. That's what I'm going to get. Filled 81. KMI 417. 28 call. 28-1. Actually triggered. Looking for outside month. Okay. XOM I love, but not as much. SLB hasn't moved. Oxy hasn't moved. All right, back to the ETFs. XLF triggered. We already saw that. XLI, XLK. Tech is 2-2 hammer. Lots of hammers, as we already know from last week. Real estate. Yeah, telecom. Utilities 2-2. 2-1-2 up. Which would be, do I know any of these? I don't know if I know any of these. Let me try to scan this. Scan XLU for options. Yeah, AES and PCG. Let me look at those. Kind of a cheap stock. Holy volume on the April 30 or April 13 calls. Last fill was 35 cents. 10-cent wide spread, which kind of sucks, but PCG's a little better. I don't know. I'm kind of willing to throw some starter position on here. Like half of normal. April 17th. 18 calls on this. Trying to get filled. 28 cents. Got filled. Like I said, half just a starter. I've never traded this before. But I know what a chart looks like, and it looks good. Okay, back to this. Anything happening? Still in this box. Over here. Nothing. I mean, looking more bullish than bearish, I'd say, but bouncing off higher yesterday. I wouldn't necessarily say any of it's favorable yet, though. Net inflow is positive, but still below yesterday. Interesting. So Vol D is like pretty much delta for what I know it as. So like we saw Friday was just a grind up. That is what Friday did. Keep an eye on it. All right, back to ETFs. Keeping an eye over on my Berkshire. That's the only one I don't really love because it's this week. I might close and go to next week, or maybe, I don't know. Let me look at it again. April's just too far away with these. I'd have to get what was this? BRK.B. Yeah, and I don't like that I don't really have any targets. So this one I'd be like the 555 calls for April, but those might be too far out. Next week's like 540 calls, but still. Berkshire is going to be the one I close first. Rest are nice. I think they're all for April. Yeah. Which is kind of more my style. I know some swing traders go a little more aggressive with like next week's, but I like to have a little bit of leniency with price. Excuse me. Any ticker requests while I'm looking over here? Kind of just sideways action here. Showing you guys what it's like to not take trades, which is a good skill to learn. Guess I'll keep going through this. JR, I'll look at that as soon as I'm done with these ETFs. I know I just asked, but I forgot I hadn't continued through this. Semis. Oh, I just smacked myself in the face. Intel longs again. Yes, please. INTC. Oops. No. Mario, my guy. I see you chatting over there. Yes, please. On Intel, got called away on call shorts. Wait, what? Got called away on call shorts? Oh, were you selling calls? Yeah, I'm kind of all in on Intel. What about AMD? AMD too. Yeah, we're kind of broadening formation here. I think we're probably going to the upper end here. We're already doing it on Intel. Intel's already got a. I said this before. That's why I initially got in the last play, or the last swing I got in, was because I believe that Intel already put in its low. And then I think it's going to take out these highs here, which would be 28. So those are 50 cents. I'll grab a couple for next week, and then I'll probably grab I kind of want to just go April, actually. I know I'm a little scared of cap, but 30 call April. I pay once like pretty much the same price for just a barely further out of the money. What about a leap on Intel? So I alerted a leap. I guess I should say I just traded a leap on earlier in the year. So the the January 16th, I guess those aren't as much a leap anymore, but they're just really long dated. So you'd be getting, for what I just paid, you'd have to go out to like the 55 calls, which very well could get there, but they're also going to move very slowly. And the 55 call delta is 11 cents. The one I just bought is 24 cents. So Intel was April 17th, 30 call, average 58. And I might dabble with AMD a little too. We'll see. Okay. What we say? PayPal and Google. PayPal, nothing. Yeah, this stock's kind of ugly. Full time frame continuity to the downside on everything. Month, 3 month, year, so month, quarter, year. I wouldn't be looking. I mean, you could look long on a 2-1-2 up, but it's still pretty ugly. Google kind of the same thing, 3-2 on the month. So I probably wouldn't be looking for any longs on Google. Excuse me. Yeah, just chopping. All right, I'm about ready to go short NQ. I'm going for it. average 1850, 50-point stop. $25 points getting hit a couple times here. See if it can hold these 700s or if it goes back to break even. Giving this pretty much to where this line ends up being. See if it closes this for value gap, then drops down. I should have trimmed at 25 and been out break even, but still in for now. Yeah, Jay Will, I agree. Under 83 is a lot safer of a short. I just don't love the risk to reward under it unless you're risking like 20 points because your first TP is going to be 60. So it's just a little tougher, I think. But back to profits here. PLTR shorts. I thought I was looking long on PLTR. Yeah, no, I'm looking long on PLTR. You're already a 2-2 up. So the only is it CC? The only reason you should be looking short on PLTR this week right now is if it gets under this 50% level at 80.41. If it gets under that, then I would agree you're probably looking to go outside bars 74 and then maybe continuing to the downside like before. But right now you're a 2-2 up. Granted, a failed 2 right now, but nonetheless, you are 2-2 up. So once you trigger one side, the only reason you would be looking to go opposite of that trigger would be to go outside bar. You're very welcome. Yeah, I do like the idea of short, but it just, what's stopping it right now? What's stopping it from going here to here and then back up? Right? Because what I always preach is price is going one way to go the other, or it's going somewhere to go somewhere else. And so it's our job to decipher, is price going down right now to go further up, or did it go up a little bit to go further down? I don't believe that there are enough sellers here, because liquidity wise, we only took out this, right? This white line here. So if we went through and took out this as well, and maybe even this higher one, then I'd be more likely to be interested in shorts. But because we only took out one level of magnitude, I'm sketched out. Just sitting on VWAP right now. About to just close this thing. It's just going sideways. I am going to take the next 25 points if I get it and move stops up. Filled 25. Excuse me. All right, break evens up. Nice, good trade. Stop loss up to current high, actually. So current 5-minute high. 23.75. Risking, so me doing that is risking an extra 5.25 points to make an extra, 55.25 points. Because I know that this was already a level of resistance. So if it goes back up, breaks me out, fine. But there have been times, especially near my stops, where I cover a wick. And those are even greater, right? Because if I cover a wick, let's say like I cover 5 points here. Let's say 10 points. And then my first trim's still at half R. That's a 7 RR. So, Honeycomb, are you on calls? Like, am I in call options or am I trading in voice calls? The answer is no to call options, but yes to voice calls. Yeah, I wouldn't be shorting NQ if I'm long and the rest of the market out of NQ. Definitely will never inverse myself. So here, back in the range, right? So we could actually kind of mark out this little box here and play from one range to the other. So if this goes 5-minute to 2 rev, I might go long and then target the end of the box there. We actually have a broadening formation formed right there. Okay, are we trading futures now? Sorry, just joined. Well, I'm doing both, right? So I have like all these tabs up here. So options, I entered like 4 or 5 swing trades already today. So just kind of, I do both. Just jump around. All right, looking for this 3-2 up. Be about to get triggered. Gonna be a wider one, 70 points or so. To make about more than that. You look at what Qs are doing. Yeah, Qs are bouncing. Ooh, that's a throwback. Wait, don't tell me I didn't. Oh, I did. Never mind. Excuse me. Can you look at Ethereum? Wait. JOL, I like your entry. 701 is 0.5 of day. Definitely prints once it breaks. Yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't. But yeah, I'm looking long, JOL. I think this is range bound, right? So if I look over at the internals, tick is telling me this is range bound and chopping. Not very many green or not very much of the not very big candles here for positive inflow or negative inflow. So kind of just, this is telling me, ADD is telling me that there's more stocks that are green than red right now. Uval is pretty much market delta, so up volume versus down volume. So we're positive up volume, except for on the NASDAQ, we're pretty much flat. So can you look at Ethereum? It feels like it has some strength. No data, just a hunch. Would like to see if there's anything on the chart or volume. I will look at Ethereum. I will caution you from using hunch as a reason to buy or sell, which I know you're not doing right now. But yeah, this is short. No reason to buy yet. You're probably not buying until next month. Okay, I'm in NQ 45, average 70 points. Long one. Jay Will said, "Can you share that layout with me? I'm no good at ranges, just sitting until it, and if we break to take something." Yeah, so I'm not really good at range trading, but it's something that I kind of have to learn because I can't just sit and wait for a trend market. Some markets don't trend for years. There's always a trend somewhere, but there's money to be made if you can range trade. You just have to buy the lows and sell the highs. But anyway, what layout did you want? You want me to go back to this one? Or this one? Or this one? I still miss the blue. I don't know if we got enough votes on it last night, but yeah, I'm gonna share this selfishly. Get some votes on this in the chat. The one with Valdi. Oh, it's just there's no layout. It's just the 4x box. And then I have ADD and tick on top, which are going to tell you overall market like conviction pretty much. So like I said, ADD is like delta. So it's do we have more buyers than sellers today? Tick is how aggressively we're doing one of those things. So right now, I don't think paper uses this, which is the 600 to 1000 minus 600 to minus 1000. If you're in those ranges, then you're doing one or the other pretty quick. So like here, let me sync my crosshairs real quick. So like here, right, when we get back, when we're in this zone in the middle, we're not really doing much of anything. Then once we got into this upper zone, we started moving pretty quick. So it's just something I watch, something I've heard and started watching. But yeah, it's nothing special. It's just the 100 or ADD tick TICK vol D and then vol DQ. Back in profits, NQ. All right, closing in queue, not getting the movement quickly. All right, only a couple more minutes till the 11 o'clock switch. Good morning overall. Nothing on options day trades, just some swing entries. Not really anything super interesting on the futures, but sometimes that's a good thing. As long as you're not getting chopped up, mark out your range. Don't get chopped. Which do you guys prefer? Switch here. Of course, it picked the bottom two. Left side or right side? Which one's easier on your eyes? Easier to track price with? I feel like right side, it's harder for me to less eagle colors, this guy said. What a jokester. How do you determine if it's going to be a range bound day so that you could choose to sit out? So, number one, practice and time in front of a screen. Number two, you could look, this is kind of newer to me. I've used Delta before. I've never used these market internals as much, which they're kind of the same thing in the sense of how they work. So if you're just now tuning in, ADD is advanced versus decliners. So most of the market is green today. So if I open up like my core options list, which is most of the guys that I trade, you see a lot more green than you do red, right? You get a little bit more red here, but most of them are green. Let me change this way. It's a lot more green than there are red. All right, we're getting a lot of blues. Okay, I'll change. So let me change here. So yeah, like I said, it's a lot more tickers are above their open or prior day open. Or sorry, no, just their open. Than their close. Tick is how fast we are doing those things. And so paper, I think, uses just the 0, or maybe he doesn't. He just looks at the tick itself. But if you look at something I've read is putting a box at 600 to minus 1,000, or sorry, minus 600 to minus 1,000, and then 600 to 1,000. You can see when we're in these kind of upper ranges is when things are moving pretty quickly or with some confidence. And then Vol D is up volume versus down volume. So that is delta. So right now, the New York Stock Exchange has a positive delta. Is there a vol for SPY? No. That stings. So, okay. Anyway, so we have one for NASDAQ, which is the NASDAQ 100, and we have one for the all of New York Stock Exchange. So this is going to be your delta. So you're going to be able to see, overall the market is buying today, except on NASDAQ where we're pretty flat. When we're pretty flat, aka closer to the 0 line, we know we're probably not going to be doing anything really quickly, right? So when we're under the 0 line, so I'm going to get on the 15-minute chart. So when we're above the 0 line, we're doing something, right? So if I look up, let me just do it like this. Mess up my charts for a bit, but so vol D or vol QD, vol DQ on this, or NQ1, or let's just do QQQ because I think it's just, pre-market. So if I put these side by side, sync my crosshairs. So yesterday or Friday, we had up volume and we bought. Day before, we had down volume, right? And we sold. So you can see my right side of my screen syncing with the left. So we have down volume, so we sold. The day before, we didn't really, we were above the 0 line and we bought, but it's very much not like this day, right? So when it's kind of just chopping, this tells me that there's uncertainty. And as we see in here, it was. Same thing the day before, right? Like, yes, we're above the 0 line, so we are buying, but we're not really doing it quickly. Day before, very red. You see the difference between this day here? Let me zoom out here. See the difference between this day, where we're kind of just straight down, and then the next day. And you can kind of expect that when you're trading, right? If you have a big expansive move the day before, the next day is either going to be profit taking or you're going to be kind of inside. It's a higher chance for an inside bar. It's not necessarily saying that after a big day you can't have another big day, but it's saying that you better be careful that day following. Okay, we'll do a couple more. So this day here on Qs, we went up, right? So we pushed price up. Pushed. Right? But look at how vol QD, so the volume, so did we have more up volume or down volume? We had a little bit more up volume, but it's not like this, right? Like this is, let me get this. This is a, 1.3% move. This is like, oh, it's not going to show me the same. You get what I'm saying though? Like this little move doesn't match this move. And so this is where if I were sitting here at 10:30, 10:45 and I'm like, wait a second, we're pushing up, but like we don't have much conviction. We don't have enough buyers to keep price up here. Right? So I would highly encourage you to look at these internals. I like Delta. I've used Delta before, cumulative volume Delta, which is pretty much what vol DQ is. And it's just going to tell you with a number if you're buying or selling, which is pretty much what vol DQ is. So if you look at these internals, you'll see some of those discrepancies. I wonder why this is showing me pre-market after. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. I think that's going to be easier to see. So, yeah. Let me turn this back on, actually. Trying to see if I can quickly spot another one of those. This is the 24th. If I can quickly spot another one of those like sideways. So here on the 24th, so right in the middle here. Okay. So we started shooting down, right? You see that on both sides. And then we're shooting up on vol or on Qs, but the volume delta is not going much higher, right? Relative to this move. Here's what I should have done. I should have done a fib. So like we're above the 50 line here. We're barely above the 50 line there. We're wicking above, right? So this is telling me that this is not really a buyer sponsored move to the upside. And these red wicks are even bigger than or like the candles for the red are just as big or even bigger than the green candles. So while we're pushing up, volume delta is telling me that this is not really pushing up. And then that's where you're not going to get sucked into buying here. You're right, this zone here. You're not interested in buying at all in this. And then you're ultimately looking for any opportunity to short in that zone. So volume delta will keep you out of chop most days. And if you know how to trade ranges, then that's great. Of course, this is also going to show you, you mark out your broadening formations like we did earlier in the day. Okay, enough yapping from me. That's it for the morning session. I will see you all. I have class tomorrow. I will see you all on Wednesday and Thursday this week. I have class Tuesday, Friday. So I think Paper's doing the lunch hour stream, the weekly plan. Still in all the swings from earlier. I'll look at them again, but there's nothing I'm going to do to them. So Yeah, Berkshire, Bank of America, Intel's down a good chunk right now. I just probably bought the high there. That's fine. PCG. Yeah. So let me actually just put stops in here. BRKB. I think I already have my stop on. Yep. Intel. I could consider closing under this level here. I don't know if I will because it's just the daily open, but what I probably will do is the gap at 23, but I'll mark it here anyway. PCG, kind of the same thing. It's tough when you enter on a Monday because your daily candle, weekly candle is going to be the same thing. Same thing here, Bank of America. KMI. So those aren't necessarily hard stops. Berkshire probably is just because it's this week. And I don't want to hold this. It's down 32%. I don't want to hold this. If it goes down here, it's probably going to be down like 50%. So I don't want to hold it past that. So, thanks for explaining. Appreciate it. You're very welcome. Alrighty. I love y'all. I'll see you here Wednesday.